for a little while. Capturing eyes for a little while this week. And I want to say the last week as well. So there was a artist many may know as The Baby. The Baby made some disparaging remarks during a opening of a show. And this guy says, I'm going to double down on what's going on and what I said. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I'm looking at, yes, baby.
Can I stay here with you?
Sure, have a seat. What has happened was like carrying on a more global level. And the reason why I say more global is because you have these artists, right? Let's look at how hip hop started out. Hip hop started out as a party. It started out as a way for us to celebrate our culture, which was, an impoverished culture. And it started out as a way of us taking nothing and making something out of it. And that happened to be started more so roughly around the year that me and Sky were born. Okay, 73. That being the case, hip hop has always been known for gritty lyrics, wordplay, ultra uber reality and realism, and the clearest picture of how life in urban America is for Afrocentric African Americans, Black individuals, whatever you want to label it or title it. Okay, so saying the things that would be disparaging to everybody else, we've gone through those flows time and time again. Matter of fact, it wasn't until Luke Skywalker Campbell had to fight for his freedom of speech, and won the case back in the late 80s, early 90s, late 80s, and it spanned into the early 90s. And it wasn't until he won that case that it empowered us to say, now we can really feel more conscious about speaking and using the same right that everybody held for as a privilege, which was anybody else could use the right for free speech and the free speech as a argument to say whatever they wanted to say. But when it came to us making money off of our free speech amongst our own people, obviously, because we were the ones buying it at first, and then eventually, white America and the rest of the Americas began buying into it. So the Baby said some disparaging remarks, and those remarks, I'm going to try and find them right now. But basically, at the beginning of here's what he said, right? Okay, nope, that's not it right there. So I was trying to find it, but basically, he made comments about throw your hands in the air if you don't have AIDS or HIV, a couple of other statements, and the climate nowadays to where you are not allowed to really say what you want to say or speak your mind without being penalized, because obviously they realize that they can't come at you for saying what you want to say and it not being considered freedom of speech, but they can come at you in ways of what? Your dollars, who patronizes you, how your information and your music is disseminated, which shows you get, how much money you can earn by saying what you want to say. Sponsorship of corporate America.
Well,
go ahead.
You bring up an interesting point when you bring up money. So there are many different aspects of things.
Facts.
With you saying that, one of those aspects And I'm just going to throw this on the table because this is Earth and Sky Interactive. So this is what we do. We get you thinking.
And this is the weekend freestyle, baby. We get to this.
Freestyle!
Freestyle. We get to this.
Now, the baby was doing his thing, right?
Facts.
Okay. The baby was there, and the baby had something happen that's only happened once to a very high appointed public figure. That person was the president of the United States.
Do tell.
That was George W., who got the shoe thrown at him. The baby got a shoe thrown at him. One shoe.
One shoe.
So when you start to think about it, right? He's the hottest name smoking right now, right?
Must be.
Was it the baby who said that, or was the baby told to say that? Because now he's got all eyes on him. Now you bring the money aspect in it, and we are in America, the land of capitalism. So at that point, when one shoe gets thrown, no other items got thrown. So you're trying to tell me security got to that one person and everybody up in there to stop them from doing that again? One shoe? You're trying to tell me so one person in that whole entire damn audience was offended? One? Because I'm going to tell you what, sounds staged a little to me. Because basically, why wasn't somebody else throwing a shoe or throwing a hat or throwing a towel or throwing a water bottle or throwing something else? You get my point now?
Yep.
Like, so I'm not saying that's the case, but I have to, being Sky, being looking down on a looking down over things perspective. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to see to the horizon. And that has got to be put on the table. Got to be. Because at that point, think about it. He was already doing his thing, but we all know this. We all know people in entertainment will do anything to get your attention. Rather they are told to do it or it's part of their branding strategy. They do it anyway. So at that point, you have to wonder, why is it only one shoe? Security didn't get to that one person that fast. Let's just keep it real. We've all been to concerts. You've got thousands of people. One person wild out and threw one shoe. So you're trying to tell me that that person went home with just one shoe on.
So I didn't read that. So somebody actually threw a shoe at him?
Oh, homeboy said it, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, one shoe. President got one shoe. And he,
So you're saying, and I felt this, but I mean, I have to let things play out because I can't interject what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling into what's actually happening.
right.
That
You don't
wouldn't
want to project. I
that-
got you.
right.
I got you.
That wouldn't be journalism. But what I did see was that he was now a part of a hellstorm of concerns. A hellstorm of concerns. Okay? This dude, whatever he said was loud enough to where it reverberated around the world. And the offended parties, the LGBTQ plus, came up in full force, full regalia. And because their power supersedes that of the average group of individuals to be offended, they sought to break down every morsel of this young black male earning his money by saying what he says to entertain individuals.
So, but wait. But who was he truly meant to entertain?
Point. Who?
Hmm.
You can
See,
entertain everybody as long as we're the ones that you don't offend.
but how many times have entertainers said things? Prime example, comedians say things that offend all the time, but who are they actually entertaining?
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Calculated. I know for a fact some people aren't going to like what I have to say. They're probably not going to like me, but guess what? Energy does not know good or bad. It just goes where you focus it. So now, where's all of that energy been focused? All eyes on the baby. To the point where we're having this discussion about him right now.
Yep.
Somebody's making money off it, and they're making more money than he's making off it. I can promise you that.
Now, that being said, let me tell you what came after he doubled down. First, we had Questlove, was one of the first people I heard about that came out of the woodworks. The Roots, lead drummer for the Roots, and now on NBC or one of those channels.
Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. So he comes out and he makes his statements. And the baby doubles down, basically saying that I don't even know who the hell this guy is. Whoa. I don't know how that's possible if you're a rapper, but
well,
now,
what are you a rapper or are you an entertainer? Because if you're an entertainer, you wouldn't know who Questlove is. But if you're a rapper, if you are a hip hop artist, you know exactly who he is. You have no choice but to know who he is, because you probably sampled some of his shit.
Yep.
So, mind you, so that lets you know, okay, so basically he's an entertainer.
Definitely.
I wouldn't call him a rapper. I would just call him an entertainer.
Okay. Now, with that being said, Questlove made his statements. He doubled down, basically saying, hey, I don't know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? These old guys, first thing they do is go to the age. Why? Because that's where the division starts at. The division starts, if you want to look at the quote unquote Willie Lynch letters, whether they were true or not, it goes into separation.
No cap.
Yeah, no cap. It goes into separation of color, gender, age are the top three things, right? Are you as dark as me or are you lighter than light? Are you the same sex as me? Or are you a different sex? Are you the same age as me? Because all of those things were made to be put against each other. One side, two sides, everything split down the middle. If you're on one side, so you support it. You're on the other side, you support it because you're chastised and trained to support one or the other. So therefore, you can clearly decide where you're at, and everybody can obviously tell where you're at. So all that being said, doubles down on that one. Don't know who this guy is. Don't care about who this guy is. I don't follow the leader. I am who I am. Okay? I think what happened was the baby had not been humbled yet. The baby had got away with shooting somebody, possibly even killing somebody. I got to double check that. We can double check through the notes. You know, we're Earth and Sky. We can do that. Or we can just say he did something to somebody that revolved firearms. And let's just say that he was never charged or arrested with that. Okay. So with that being said, he continues on. to double down in his career. The baby has had more police concerns or issues, getting pulled over, getting arrested, fighting at shows with patrons or customers coming to see him. But once again, he skates through all of that, all of it, right? Just to say one thing that somebody didn't like at the opening of a show before he got a chance to start the performance. And that, what he said, not what he had done, but what he said was enough to send ears up and fur flying.
Well, I mean, you hit it right on the head. The industry will humble you if you go too far, because they have to have a checks and balance, or they just set you up. It's just that simple.
Well, Baba Dick Gregory said it the best. He says, if somebody's trying to discredit me, it's not going to be anybody but the government or somebody that wants me out of there. So this situation, to me, I had to stop for a quick second, and I had to fall back and realize, is this another distraction?
One shoe.
And if this is a distraction, what is it distracting me from? Because it got more play than it should have got. 2 weeks, two and a half weeks.
It got the play it was supposed to get.
Of course.
Again, yes. All planned,
agreed,
all strategized, the whole flow. And just to piggyback off of what you said, basically, the event happened. A 19-year-old man was shot in the abdomen and died soon after. The confirmed involvement of the shooting was self-defense for the baby. So that was self-defense. Shot a young man, 19 years old, in the abdomen. He soon after died. Self-defense was the flow.
In other words, the baby is the first artist to come in with a certified body.
He ends up pleading guilty to carrying a concealed weapon, a misdemeanor.
You think somebody wanted him in the industry bad enough? Because now there's a term that floats around: industry plants.
Well, I don't understand what the baby didn't understand on what they did to Bobby Shmurda. Shmoney Shmurda
doing the Shmurda dance.
That's a show all to itself.
Very much so. Because now Bobby Shmurda's out feeding the homeless and giving turkeys away at Thanksgiving and all types of other things. He's feeding the hood right now. The baby, and the reason why I have no care in the world either way, other than what we're talking about right now, is because the baby does nothing for my culture. He does nothing whatsoever to sustain, to uphold, to bring forth rightness and justice into the lives of individuals who are impoverished and in need of nothing more than hope.
There's nothing uplifting about it.
Nothing. No. So I could truly care less what happens to him, how much money he loses, or if he has to take one on the backside just to get the bag again. Doesn't matter to me. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? I've seen your type come and go. I've seen many do it in the eras that I've watched in hip hop, and you're just another one. What I did hope for a brief second, and this is the reason why I push my glasses back with my middle finger.
Nah.
is because I hoped that he would have stood up against the machine and risked it all. But we know that ain't happening. Why?
His team was like, good job. You played your role. You will be compensated.
That's what we up against.
Mind you, again, we've all seen artists, and unfortunately, the new era of hip hop, unfortunately, there are those, or should I say rap, because that's not hip hop. So
Right.
I digress.
Right.
Is to do the most outlandish thing for attention so that way all eyes on me before I drop this new album, before I drop this new single, before I go on tour. Do you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you look at it, the